Welcome back, folks. MacT here, and we have this Gooloo. Yes, we have the Gooloo model G1500 that I bought off the internet. It is a jump starter power bank, and we're going to go ahead and test this one out. I had the Black & Decker in a previous video that was being rebuilt, essentially. I'm going to show that one here and link it up to this, but that one took 40 hours. That Black & Decker, 40 hours to charge. This one is approximately, I don't know, 15 years newer. So let's go ahead and check this one out, do the unboxing on it, and see what it does. Now, first thing we got to do is open this thing up. Never opened it, so it's a first time unboxing. If you never bought one, this is what it's going to look like. And guess it comes out here, no paperwork, but we have a case. So we have the case that this unit comes with, and this says, of course, looks pretty nice. A little nylon and nice zippers and everything else to go there, so we can open this up. So I guess it's meant to keep in the car. It's compact and everything else. So what do we get in with it? You know, the first thing that we always do, because us guys always want to know what's going on, is we read the book. That's right. We want to read this book and see what's going on. We have a warning and everything in here. And what's our warning say? Do not leave product charging while unattended. Don't use product when it's charging. Allow the product to cool for 15 minutes after jump starting your car. Good information. Do not operate product with damaged clamps or defective power plug. And age below 18 or elderly. Please use the product with someone to accompany you. So if you're under 18 and you're old, apparently it comes in Japanese, Chinese, or whatever it is. If you're not happy with your purchase, I guess you can go and send your product back to them. But we do have the manual, and it goes over everything. Looks like it's multiple languages, with the first part of it being in the technical part. So product layout, it shows us everything that we need to do. I'll put these pictures here at the end of this video to show you what it has for the manual. Lots of good operating instructions there. So we go through here. What are some of the specs on this thing? It gives you a parts list. Hey, it gives you a parts list on what you want to do. So if you want to replace the cables, you can buy new cables, chargers, the bag, jump start cables, and other parts, I guess, that you want to buy here. It doesn't say anything about batteries. Okay, the input is essentially, it is a C15 watt, 5 volt 3 amp output, of course Type C, and capacity is 19,800 milliamps. Wow, pretty hefty. Starting current is 500 amps, peak current is 1500 amps, and it measures a size. It weighs 630 grams. And operating temp, folks, is minus 20 degrees Celsius, which is minus 4 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, if you're outside and it's probably, I don't know, if they're saying you're keeping it in your car and it does get down to 20 below zero, I guess you're not within the operating temp of this thing. It's not going to work good. I don't know. It has a 1,000 plus cycles of recharging. So if you recharge this over 1,000 times, it might not work. Full charge time takes 5 to 6 hours to recharge. So yeah, we got all sorts of neat stuff going on in there. But it has FAQs on here on certain operating aspects, and a lot of other warnings that you might want to take and read this book about. But warranty has a period of 12 months from date of purchase by the user consumer. So some limitations. It's only valid, you know, if you bought it. So you got to have serial number, date, and all this other stuff. So this is a manual. Comes in a lot of different languages. Now, what do we get here? We have our 12 volt plug where you can charge it in your car, I guess. So if you run it down and your battery and alternator are working good, you can charge that. And then we have a lot of USB connectors of different types and sizes that you can use to plug different things in to charge, because this does have USB connectors on it along with that. So I guess you could charge your phone on it or whatever if you're stranded, stuck in the snow or something of that nature. You also have electrical USB plug. Yeah, you can plug that in and charge your unit via the electrical plugs. And then we have our quick connects here. That's right, look at that. Got your quick connect here. Plug that into the unit, I'm assuming, so we keep it nice and handy. Cables are pretty soft and flexible, not near as thick as the old Black & Decker I was just working on. And I also noticed the, look at that, we have two different lengths. The negative is got a longer cable than the positive. I do not know why that would be. Why would they make the positive shorter than the negative? No idea, but I'm sure they have a reason to that. And also some warnings on here, how to connect it. So if you forget how to connect it, it's written right on the instructions on the back. And it tells you exactly what to do as far as when you're going to jump start. So handy dandy instructions there. Next we have the unboxing here. This unit, I have not touched it. It says caution, fully charged before use. So we got to charge this thing, I guess, for, I don't know, quite a few hours. Was 5 or 6 hours. So we're going to have to go ahead and get this thing charged up, plug it in. Jumper cables plug right on in here, as you can see, right there. Yes. And if you look at it, in comparison, this right here is a positive and this is the negative. So that's hard to do. I don't like that because when it's fully in, it's hard to get out. Maybe after you play with this for a while, it will actually work better. But I went ahead and charged it. Now here's the situation. You got this little short cord. Holy cow, check this thing out. This cord is not very long. That's it. Can't even plug it in to charge it and set it up on a table. You have to set it on the floor because the cable's so short. But it's a USB-C, pretty much just the small. Both of them, of course, very short. You can get longer cables that can carry the power, and I may put a link down below where you can get a longer cable that will work with this and carry the data and the power, and get you to stretch it so you can put it on a table or something like that. But otherwise, you got to plug it in the wall. You can't go up very high, so it just sits down on the floor when it's charging. So that's the deal there. Did charge. I charged it. As you can see, it is fully charged, and it took 4.5 hours when it was just at 2 bars to charge it. So it is fully charged, and of course we got the light. There you go. You see the flashlight, works pretty good. Strobe light alert coming up. Yes, here comes the strobe. And you get the strobe back, and then you get the SOS. So you have the 2 lights, and you hit the button again, and it goes off. So this unit here has all those items. Now you do have your output, and as you can see, it is a 15 volt 10 amp out or charging port. So all you have to do is take your 12 volt right here and you plug it in, and then you can plug this into the car and charge it on the cigarette lighter, as they used to say, but now they say 12 volt charging port. So that is how that actually works. Then let's see what else we got here. If you tear it apart, they do have a seal sticker on here, so if you tear it apart, you void the warranty. And then we have our input output, which is a Type C. That is where you plug it in to charge it if you're using that Type C plug with the wall charger. Then we have our USB, which is a 5 volt 2.1 amp port. And we have the 5 volt, I think it is, yeah, the 5 volt to 9 volt to 12 volt port right here for the USB. That's your high power output there. So if you're charging something that needs to have higher output, you'll use the blue one. As we all know, that is like the USB 3 or something like that. But that is it overall for the instructions. You have it right here. Now let's go ahead and see the meat and potatoes of this thing. It says it puts out so many volts and everything, amps and all this good stuff. So let's go ahead and see how many volts it's going to put out when I plug it in. So what I'm going to do, like I said, I have a hard time. I don't have fingernails to really get this thing open, so it gets hard to do. And we just go ahead and we plug it in. There we go, completely plugged in. By the way, this rubber thing sort of gets in the way when you go to plug it in. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and check the voltage on it. So I'm going to go ahead and clamp that right onto here. Got a good connection. And clamp that on. Got a good connection. And what do you see? We got 11. That's right. I don't know if you can see that. We have 11. Now, what we're going to go ahead and do is unplug this. Remember, 10.9 from this. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. But I did discover something else that was rather interesting. And remember what I said when you plug it in. This one is the hot. Right here, the red. And we have the ground. And I'll put that in there. And what do you see? We have 16.35 volts. So when you plug the probes directly into it, we get 16.35 volts out of this thing. But we lose about 6 volts when we plug this in. So not sure how that's going to correlate to the charging what we're doing. But you know, that's what we're really getting out of the deal. So that's pretty much where we're at on this as far as doing the testing for this unit. I will go through and like I said, it's charged, it's ready to go. So next best thing is to go out and see if I can't start something with it to show that it does work. And I got a Ford Ranger that's been sitting nice and cold, so maybe I'll go out and start her up with this and see what we got out of the deal. It said that, had the red light on there. Testing that out. Now let's get it, see if it says good to go. I got the negative and the positive both hooked up, and for whatever reason it's still telling me I have a reverse and a green light on it. I don't know if it's because I don't have good enough connections on here or what the deal is. But let's see if it'll let me start this thing up. So let's give it our start. There we go. Let's see if it'll start now. For whatever reason, I had to hit the boost button in order to go ahead and get it started, but it did its job. So it started this 2.3 liter, which is a 4-cylinder engine. We're good to go. Now we just got to go ahead and put these battery clamps back on. This thing is so wore out. Anyway, we'll wrap her up. Folks, that's pretty much getting close to the wrap up of this Gooloo. What do they call it? The 1500 heavy duty. That's right. Didn't see too many reviews of this particular model on YouTube, but anyway, you got to see it in its full glory. Hit that booster button and bang, Bob's your uncle. It started right up. Thought it would be more automatic, but I was getting a red light and a green light. But when I hit the booster button, bang, maybe I need to read the directions. Who knows? But it did start my 4-cylinder, 2.3 liter Ford Ranger 1997. It had been sitting for 3 weeks, and it was disconnected from the battery and just run on this. So that ought to tell you it's good enough to go. It'll start a 4-cylinder, and I'm sure it'll start a V6 and even a V8. Who knows? But it is a pretty handy device to have, I think. Time will tell. I will carry this around in my car in my travels. I will also note that, hey, if your alternator goes out and suddenly your battery's dead, you could probably, I ain't going to say it's going to be recommended, but you could probably hook this thing up to your battery, close the hood, and use it to get you to safety. You know what I'm saying? It'll give you that little bit of extra power to run your car and get you to where you gotta be, albeit probably a short period of time, but hey, a little bit is a lot better than nothing. So this way you can do and get to where you gotta go. But this is MACT. Remember, join up MACTFORDEDGE and like and subscribe. Make sure you go to the MACT Ford Edge Facebook group, because that's where you're going to be able to comment, because there are no comments on my YouTube videos. You have to join the MACT Ford Edge Facebook group. And also, the Band of One has some great music for you to listen to. Mercy Girl's got a couple one-liners, and my feet hit the floor today, and I'm having a great day, and I want you to have a great day too. Maybe a little follow-on footage after this.
Thank you for watching MACT's videos, and remember to like and subscribe. This is a Mercy Girl production.